movie didn't show that I thought was also important to touch on was that she didn't have any kids, you know, that she was taking care of, or she didn't get pregnant. And that's one thing that always tends to affect women in the workplace, when they get pregnant or when you have a kid. I hope I'm not stepping out. Okay, yeah, so pregnancy tends to like restrict your ability. Sorry, I might say something wrong. Pregnancy tends to be, it's a biological difference that tends to affect women, obviously more than ever affect them in mind, you know. And taking care of the child along the way is an important task for something that society overlooks heavily. A woman, for example, will not get paid for domestic work at home. She's not going to get paid to take care of the child at home. But if you were to get a daycare or nanny, you'll get paid for it. But in an economy, GDP does not account for housework that women do, or any kind of pick up your kids from school, you know, that kind of thing. So it's a societal issue that is almost embedded into our brains, that it's so difficult to even realize when it's happening to you. So it's important to like be introspective, you know, look into every single detail about how you're interacting, just so that you don't let this male-dominated world, you know, miss you by.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I would like to say something. Yes, it's true, we are in a male-dominated society, but I want to point out one thing: individuality. What do you want to achieve? Yes, we are up against all odds. They've been staring at us right from when we were kids, and the truth is, it will continue to remain. That's just the truth. But what are you doing as an individual to face all this? Personally, okay, presently I'm not earning because I'm schooling, and it was a joint decision I made with my husband. I'm going back to school. I left school 2008, so my career was on hold because I had to fend for my family. I had a daughter, blah blah. And at the end of the day, I sat down. There's more to me than being a housewife. There's more to me than making babies. There's more to me. I have a dream. I have what I want to achieve. So that's where that emotional support comes in. But the truth is, not every woman will have that emotional support. So I decided, that's why I said this individuality. This is me now. I decided that I wanted to, imagine me studying French in school and coming back to do French here. So it's because I wanted to move on, as in come out of that shell. And being determined, I have a family, I have a husband, I have in-laws, I have almost the same thing, but it's the determination. I made up my mind, I want to study, and that's why I'm here. Okay, after now, so if we are going to keep staring at those things, those odds, and then we keep absorbing that fear that, oh, with this, can I make it? Or this person said, yes, it will not be easy. But like I said, how prepared are we? But I deal more with being positive. I'm never negative about anything. Because negativity drains you. It drains your mind. You won't want to even get out of bed. If I have to share my personal experiences, I don't want to leave my house. But the truth is, against all odds, I'm determined. It's not just about being determined. You have to go out, go for it. Go all out, go extra mile. Like I said, in most cases, that emotional support will not be there. So what are you going to do? That's where individuality comes in. Who are you? Most of us, okay, now watching her, you watch. I watched her character too. We're not going too far, talking about the work and the office. Look at yourself as a woman. Character-wise, are you there? Do you know how to negotiate? Do you know how, are you social? Do you know how to relate with the male folk? I watched the ambassador. A lady was trying to greet him and he stood up. And I sat down there and I was watching. So as a lady, what character do you have? It's not enough to have that zeal and be born with so much strength and like, I have to do this. If you are placed there, can you be late? There is this side of a woman that I've seen also. We are good at negotiating. There is this thing in every woman. We have that sixth sense. Before trouble comes, we can see it. So there are so many things. It doesn't have to end with school. It doesn't have to end with marriage. It doesn't have to end with, I'm talking about individuality now. Your character. What do you have to put on the table? What is that thing you have that will place you out there in the face of people? Yes, we are even talking of outside. How do we relate with our husbands at home? How do we relate with our brothers? Character-wise, are we there? So even in spite of all that is happening, the odds, they are there, and the truth is they will continue to be there. because the society, I was reading online and I was seeing so many laws that came forth, like a woman has to, when a woman's husband dies, she has to inherit the property, and then the children, both male and female, all those are just paper tigers. They are just, it's in the paper. But coming to reality is not there. Personally, as an individual, what are you doing to combat and face those fears? That's where individuality comes in. Yes, solidarity is good, we have to agree, yes, but it starts with you. And personalizing it now, it starts with me. And personally, in spite of all I see, I will keep going for it. Thank you. I kind of have an unpopular opinion. The guy that spoke said that in all of this, that the lady didn't have a child and all of that. But the truth is, if women have to place pregnancy on hold just because they want to break into, or just because they want to be equal with men, then who grows the world? The second question, the second opinion is based on what the lady that left said. She said that mother-in-laws train children, women, and all of that. But the truth is, to the men out here, it's not just a woman's work. It's not left for the woman. It should be a joint thing. We should do it together. In the movie too, there was a time John Gomel said, leave the nets for the women. The net is actually what makes, it's part of our biology. It's what makes us strong. It's what makes us who we are. So even the nerves too should be a plus for us. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Okay. No, if you give her. Yes. Just to make some clarifications here, and also to respond to. Hello, Sarah. Hello. And also to respond to what the consul said, the gentleman here, there. Well, you were trying to, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, you were trying to mention some factors militating the progress of women in the workplace, maybe pregnancy and whatnot. One thing I would like to tell women in the house is that every stage has its own attendant challenges. You have to be positioned to surmount it. Like she said, you can't put pregnancy on hold because you're nursing a child. You cannot stall your life. You just need to move on. And what's so good, the way women are wired, we are quite multitasking. You will agree with me. Yes. So we need to be able to surmount it. Otherwise, you will just remain stagnant. Because until I finish this, until I finish that, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. No. Move on. Move ahead. Be able to surmount it. Secondly, sir, I would like to ask the men in the house, is there a forum like this? Now, we can sit down here and talk, women talking together, okay, women empowerment, this, gender parity. Do we have a forum like that for men too, where they talk about this gender parity with a focus on women, solely on women? Is there? Organize, not church programs. Sorry, let's listen to this.
Hello. Sorry, I think there's a misconception of what I've said. My point is not saying that women should put pregnancy on hold, because my point is a man does not have the same biological makeup as a woman. A man is only to get pregnant in the workforce, and we can agree that pregnancy is something that slows you down. I'm not trying to say the wrong thing, but it's something that you don't operate as fast as you operate if you weren't pregnant. I'm not saying you should put pregnancy on hold. I'm just identifying a biological difference. The point I'm actually making is that the difference in makeup is something that should be celebrated, not restricted. It's set up in such a way that because of this difference, your ability to work is limited compared to, even if you have to take a leave off work or amount of time to take care of your child. This kind of thing are things that affect women, that don't affect men. So the point I'm making is that society needs to account for these differences in a way that celebrates a woman but does not restrict them. It's not fair that a woman should have to be pregnant and affect her work, and it doesn't affect a man in the same way, and that's because it's a male. The society has set up in a way that it favors the man more than the woman. You know. So my point is that it's not fair. Not that it's something that should be, you know, avoided.
I'd just like to add at this point with what I agree with everything that he said. We are in a society where we are on learning. There's some things that are already there. What we are doing now is easier to teach afresh than to tell someone to unlearn what they have known all their lives. You cannot, I'm a woman anyways, but I'm not going to say to you that men will come and then place things at our feet and say, okay, because we want you to move. They are human beings also. We cannot say because we want gender equality, then they downplay their own thing. So my point is, if we are going to unlearn, it starts with you making them see why they should change their mindsets. They have been taught this mindset. They are people that taught them like this. The world has, well, before we became like this, the world has been running. Yeah. So they are going to ask you, you want us to change our mindset. Will the world stop if you don't change this mindset? You have to give me a reason to want to change the break, like I used to say, if it's not broken, why fix it? So tell them how it is broken. Let them see that it is broken. Because we cannot sit and say, okay, it's our right. These are the things we want equality if we are not showing that we are ready to handle some things. We are not going to say, okay, men should, however we want to look at it. There are laws that are against us. There are laws that say, okay, 35% of the women of the cabinet should be women. But if it's not going to happen, they are not going to force women to come out of their houses to say, okay, women did not come out to get the form. So politics or whatever will stop and say until women come out, we are not going to occupy the position. Or it won't stop. So if there are like legislations and there are all these things saying that we should empower women, if no woman is coming forward to occupy this space, nothing will be done. No law will be changed if there's not enough women to vote. They passed the bill for women's equality. It got to the second stage and it was thrown out. How many women were on the in Senate to do the vote? So whether they even, if the men wanted to agree or if they did not want to agree, we did not even have enough women on the. So what we do a lot of times that I have seen is that we are more of talkers. Men are the talk. We can stay 5 years talking about one thing we want to achieve, and then no, in my own opinion, when I say we can say, I'm not saying all women in generally. I'm just saying they will take 5 minutes to talk and 80 minutes, action is done. But we will rather talk and say how we are marginalized. And let us say there are rules, there are laws, there are legislation that we put in place that women should do. Let us now go and come forward and show that we are ready to occupy this position. But they are not going to leave a space open because there's a law that says that if women are not ready to take charge of the position. So everything boils down to, you say, okay, you train your son and you tell your son to sweep. You tell a man or a woman to sweep. Forget, you tell your child to sweep. Stop saying, no, change the woman to sweep. This one should wash plates. As far as you have children, I don't care whether you have a boy or you have a girl. You have children, I have children. How many girls, it does not matter. That's what I think. You want to occupy a position of a CEO. Human being should occupy the position. Not that's what I think. That's what I think. You want to pay salary and they say salaries are not being equal. Pay me as a I'm not going to come. I don't say pay me as a woman. Women, you should improve women. Men they are human beings also. Pay me as a human being. If I'm qualified, give it to me. But don't come and give me that thing of, okay, we need to promote women. I will feel like you are cheating other people. If I'm qualified for it, present me. But don't come and tell me, okay, we want to push women, that's why we need to come forward. No. If I'm qualified for it, give it to me. If I'm not qualified for it, give another human being. Human rights should be human rights. You should not force down. I'm not saying men they push you back, you push them. I'm not saying to you that you find a situation where they tell you act like a man. I don't need to act. I work on site. I did deal, but you don't need to tell me to act like a man. I tell you, if I get the job done, pay me. But don't tell me, however I'm going to get the job done, I promise you I'm going to get the job done. But I'm not going to come and tell you I'm going to work like a man. I'm not going to work like a man. I am going to work at my best. I'm going to get your job done. Give me the deadline. So the thing I'm saying is, we're not going to say women, men, put the men down to lift the women up. Lift all human beings up. Treat a woman like a human being. Period.
Okay, thank you very much. We are.
Sorry, but does it mean that a woman can be higher than a man, even in the home or everywhere? Does it mean, because the man is the head of the home, yes, but does it mean that the woman can now be the head or she can be higher than the man?
Let me tell you what, even why we confuse this, and I've seen cases like this when you want to come up with, oh, women, men, oh, men. When you say equality, you're not talking about human rights, you're not talking about politics, you're not talking about you're not talking about religion, you're not talking about gender. Who is going to do? How you run is your own life. This is life. However I choose, that's but what we are saying is human being run the home. Human being give birth to children. Human being should be responsible for the children. However we decide to share. We're not saying religion. I have a religion that I practice, but I'm not going to force it down everybody's throat. But in my house, I will practice it. I know who is here. I don't care what you think. If I think that it's wrong, but I'm not going to come. We're talking law. We are not talking religion. We're talking politics. We're not talking about how you grew up. I don't care. But we're just saying human being occupy this world. Human being should be treated equally. However we say biology disturbs us, we will handle it. Treat me. Don't treat me because of my biology. Leave my biology. It's my biology. You know what I mean. So don't come and say, okay, because the woman gets pregnant. No, leave it. But give me the job to achieve, and I will achieve it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I have a few questions. Let me first of all start by saying the hands that rocks the cradle rules the world. Women don't. I see we are moving from one extreme to another extreme. So I'm going to, forgive me, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, and I'm going to pose some questions for our ladies, our women, to answer. Otherwise, we'll just keep our head in the cloud, and then we will not address real life issues. Okay, the first one I want to ask is that, first, what is the role of culture in equality between a man and a woman? We have the Western culture, we have the African culture, we have the Asian culture, we have the European culture. What is the role? Should culture be suspended? Please, let's have one house. Should culture be suspended for us to have equality between men and women? Now, second question, equality between men and women. Is it really a battle of the sexes? Is it men versus women? Should equality between men and women be selectively implemented when it favors women? Oh, you're in a gathering here now and there's heavy load to be carried. Say, the guys, they have the strength, let them carry it. But when it's, you need to excuse, maybe there are not enough seats. Oh, ladies first. Should it be selectively implemented when it favors women alone, or it should be implemented across board? You have people going into the army. Should women also go into the army and be in infantry and be trained? You understand? That's one. And then, lastly, is there gender rules? We have the creator that created us, male and female. Do we really have gender rules, as in male rules, female rules? Why do I say this? One of the channels I do love to watch is the animal channels. And then in the pride of lions, you have the alpha male, you have the lioness, and then they have their rules, you understand? And then they are able to keep their society. So do we have gender rules or not? Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Please, just one person. Who wants to have a question? One person. Somebody from the audience. Okay. Okay. Please, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
First of all, on the selective implementation of gender roles, I I don't think that is selective. Because according to biology, a woman has more nerve endings in her body than a man. That means that if they are both handling the same bottle of hot water, the woman feels it more. It's not because she's weak. It's not because she doesn't have enough strength. So if we're asking the men to lift an heavy load, it's because we know that they're strong enough. If a woman is strong enough to carry it, let her carry it, because she's a human being. It's a simple science thing. If a 50 kg woman can lift a 25 kg load, then she should. That's it. And I also think that culture, in terms of ancient culture, is just a way of saying, this is the way we've been doing it for centuries, and this is the way we are going to continue to do it. Like she said, we are human beings. Human beings deserve respect. If there are certain things that need to be moved off or changed because they are disrespecting human beings, then let them be changed. I do not see any selective implementation.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have come to the end of the... We have come to the end of the program. Okay, so I want to tell you.
Okay, so very shortly, it was, I think, a good moment. Thank you to all of you. I would like to ask you for a big, big, big round of applause for Florence and Michael. Who did a great job with you. I would like to thank once again le Consul Général de France. He had to left, but he really enjoyed the moment with you. Thank you so much to the two representatives of University of Lagos. And a big thank to Mrs. Astrup, who was there, the lady who took the mic at the moment, who is the director of the Multilingual Center. So thank you to all of you, thank you for all the team, and now enjoy your meal, and have a good day. Bye. Thank you very much.